Drake and Adin Ross were just sued for their participation with Stake, the online casino. Funny enough, I was about to start filming for another lawsuit that Adin Ross is involved in with Stake, but I wanted to check Twitter just to see how the World Series was going. Of course, Ohtani just hit another home run, and I came across this lawsuit. So I had the video set up. We're going to go about the other Adin Ross lawsuit, and then we'll get to this one at the end. Stake, the online casino, has done a pretty good job investing in a lot of streamers, one of them being Drake, in an alleged $100 million+ deal for him to stream playing gambling on Stake, the online casino. This is XQC, another popular streamer who reportedly signed a $100 million deal to gamble on Stake while he was live streaming. These numbers aren't actually true, of course, but I want to highlight here Adin Ross, 2 years, $150 million. I just want to highlight the numbers. We're still talking about big 8-figure deals. You're probably wondering, why in the world are these guys getting paid so much? So I'm going to show you a clip of a popular streamer winning a lot of money. This is what influences the next generation to start gambling.
Yeah, has
to Max. That's Max. You did it.
Oh, Max. Oh, Max.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Not gonna lie, that reaction is pretty goated. $37.5 million in winnings. Of course, this is not the norm, but you can see a guy that's sitting in his living room, gambling on stream, making millions of dollars. Who wouldn't want to join? Stake.com is believed to be the largest crypto-backed online casino in the world. This is one of their co-founders, Ed Craven. They reinvested their profits aggressively into a lot of streamers, into the UFC, into Formula One cars. That helped them generate $4.7 billion with a B in revenue in 2024. They started paying content creators on Twitch millions to live stream themselves gambling. This was during COVID. It helped them transform their business from $100 million in revenue to over $2 billion in 2 years. Why do you think they generated that much revenue? They spent money on streamers, which brought in many multiples of what they paid these streamers in revenue. After Twitch banned Stake from advertising on its platform due to a lack of consumer protections, Craven and Tehrani, the co-founders of Stake, launched their own competing live stream service, Kick. The state of California filed a complaint against Stake recently. They're one of 6 or 7 states right now. They allege that since 2022, the defendants have operated one of the largest and most profitable illegal casinos in California, Stake.us. Notice that this is different than Stake.com because it follows in the footsteps. Stake.com could not easily enter the US market, so they created Stake.us. Notice the difference. Stake.us thus presents itself as a safe and free gaming experience. You should never call gambling safe and free. Stake.us attempts to skirt California's anti-gambling laws by using gold coins and Stake Cash. Created a little chart for you. Essentially what the user does is they have, let's say, $20. They are able to convert that into 200,000 gold coins. And as alleged in the complaint, the gold coins have no real money value and cannot be converted into real money. So this is how they try to skirt the rules. But the 200,000 gold coins can be converted into $20 of Stake Cash. You can see right here, 20 free Stake Cash. Then when the user wants to cash out, they convert the Stake Cash into Bitcoin, and then the Bitcoin is then sent to the user. So that's how they are trying to be real creative with making it appear like it's not an online casino when we all know what they're doing. California strictly regulates gambling, but Stake.us has never received the state's authorization to offer its casino games to Californians. Instead, Stake.us operates an unlicensed and illegal online casino in violation of California law. I'm fairly confident that all the states have the same law. I think Stake's in real trouble. The defendants could not offer access to Stake.com, so they needed their gamblers to use a VPN to access the website, which the gamblers were able to do. In California, the Gambling Control Commission issues licenses to legal gambling operations and regulates them in order to protect Californians, but these licenses are generally limited to physical locations. This limitation helps safeguard against exploitation. Basically, gambling is ruinous to our citizens, and we want to be very careful about who we give licenses to. As a result, the commission's website states online casinos are illegal in California. So these streamers that are playing Stake and they try to circumvent the rules, what they're doing is illegal. The Stake defendants created a carbon copy of Stake.com to offer in California called Stake.us. It looks like gambling, sounds like gambling, and feels like gambling. Here's my favorite part. So Stake declared in their terms and conditions that the platform and games do not offer real money gambling. I love when people do this, when they try to think that words actually matter here. When you offer gambling, what you say in your terms and conditions don't matter at all. And yes, there was real money gambling, which we'll get to in a second. I found a way for consumers to earn rewards with a much better company. If you're paying rent every month without earning anything in return, let me introduce you to Built, the loyalty program for renters that transforms your rent payments into valuable rewards. Here's how it works. When you pay your rent through Built, you earn Built points, the industry's most valuable and flexible points on your largest monthly expense. Built is also unlocking experiences and VIP treatments around your neighborhood, like complimentary add-ons at Built partners and comedy and dining experiences. Built transforms the spending that you're already doing into an opportunity to earn rewards and unlock the best that your neighborhood has to offer. When you join Built, you can begin earning rewards at places you're already shopping or spending. As an example, I'm going to be able to start earning rewards points when I use Lyft. Even better, as I build up my Built rewards points through paying rent and spending, I'm going to be able to use those points for future purchases. Built points can be transferred to your favorite airlines and hotels or used toward future rent payments, Lyft rides, student loan payments, and more. There's no cost to join, and you can begin earning rewards on the rent you're paying no matter where you live. Sign up through my link in the description or scanning the QR code on the screen, and make sure to use my link so they know I sent you.
Eddie says to me, Adin, I have like $140 million for you, Speed, and Kai. You get this shit done, you guys, 140 M's for you guys for the first year. If this shit works, we'll re-sign you guys. And that's no gambling, by the way. That was no gambling.
140 million gives you an idea how much these guys can make. So Ed Craven is the co-founder of Stake and Kick, Kai Cenat, Speed, and Adin Ross. He also mentions no gambling, which I thought was interesting. I think all the streamers know that if you gamble, that's how you make the real big bucks. Why? Because it influences all the young kids to start gambling, and these gambling companies, these online casinos, make many multiples of what they pay the streamers. You had Kick and Stake. Kick was the live streaming platform. They were willing to pay hundreds of millions of dollars for streamers on Kick because they would gamble on Stake. So when people watch the streamers on Kick, they would then go to stake.com and sign up. So there was no ambiguity about Kick's purpose. Kick was created for the unlawful purpose of streaming illegal gambling. 2023, Mr. Craven reportedly acknowledged that Kick was losing money. That was irrelevant. They might have been losing $100 million on Kick, but they were making many multiples on Stake. It was I'm assuming, a very high margin business. So the Kick arm was just the marketing. Kick has entered into 8-figure contracts regarding streaming content. Their contracts require users to upload gambling streams. These numbers seem really large, and when I first started seeing them, I was like, why in the world is Adin Ross and all these other guys getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars? Until I realized they're influencing many multiples of that in losses on Stake. Kick entered into a contract with XQC, a 2-year non-exclusive $100 million deal.
Kick pays for all of your stuff. And there was a rumor of your new deal being like 100 mil or something.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
No.
What is it?
It's more on my type of timing, right? So I get paid by the hour. I get paid pretty well.
5-figure number? Or 6-figure number?
I'm sorry, I'm stupid. What's 5 figures?
Like 10,000 to 99,000
an hour,
or 100,000 or more.
The first option.
It's in the 5-figure range.
Yes,
that's wild though. You're making maximum wage.
This might be alluding to the clip I just shared with you, but Adin Ross in 2023 signed a deal for live streaming on Kick that exceeded $10,000 per hour. He's one of the most high-profile Stake.us streamers, 1.8 million followers on Kick. He live streamed his gambling at Stake.us for hours at a time, garnering hundreds of thousands of viewers. Live streaming gambling on Kick by the streamers, particularly dangerous because many of the audiences are primarily young individuals. This is a really important point. Many of the viewers of Kick are generally going to be younger. For example, Mr. Ross has claimed that most of his followers are teenagers or in their early 20s. The reason why this is so dangerous and why I think this is so unethical for these streamers, even though they're making so much money, is because these young kids that are following them they're the consumers. They're the ones who end up going and signing up for Stake. So they're becoming gambling addicts at a very young age. This demographic is especially at risk for developing gambling addiction.
Some streamers gamble with fake money. And that's where a lot of people have problems is like, well, you're not gambling with your own money. And that is disingenuous because you're acting excited a lot of times and it's not really your money.
Can they not keep the profits if they're not gambling with their own money?
That's usually what happens is the company will say, look, you can keep the profits. So that way they do seem excited.
This is one of the most unethical things I think any creators can do, any content creators can do. What he's essentially saying is people would be gambling, these live streamers would be gambling, but they're not gambling their own money. So they're not losing money. And then in order to make it appear legitimate, they get to keep the profits. So when they have the $1 million payday, they can react as if they're keeping it. This is Miskiff. Apparently he got offered like a $36 million deal to live stream gambling. This money is so big. These streamers are making so much money. And yet when you find out that they aren't even streaming with their own money, it is, I think it's one of the most dirtiest areas of the content creator industry.
That offer was basically, hey, we want you to make 100 hours of gambling a month. It was not some like, do this once in a while and tweet. It was like, no, we want basically your social media. Let's sell it for $36 million for 2 years.
$18 million a year, only a part-time job worth of hours. I understand streaming may be difficult, but all you do is gamble on live stream to make $36 million. That gives you an indication. The reason why I'm showing you this clip gives you an idea. If you understand business out there, if someone's willing to pay him $36 million, that means he's generating more money in losses for the casinos.
When before, it's like a lot of them were like, I'm 16 years old, and a lot of those viewers just went over to Adin Ross.
I don't think he was intending this clip to be as funny as it is, and I'm not trying to clip him, but what he was saying is he turned down the deal because a lot of his audience was younger, and the audience at the time was 16 or so, and they ended up going to Adin Ross. Now, I brought this clip within the context of this video because Adin Ross, I just want to highlight how young his audience is. So when he's streaming and showing these wins and he's living this very interesting lifestyle to the youth, they see him as a major success story, and so they're going to imitate what he does. And he gambles all day on stream. So what are you going to do? You're going to sign up for stake as well because you want to win the millions. And young kids I don't think they're developed enough. The audience of Adin Ross is not developed enough mentally to understand that he's not winning money, he's losing money. So we have, I think, a rising gambling addiction in our youth, and a big reason why is these streamers.
So now RainBet will be taking over, and they will be making sure that brand risk is good. Okay, so brand risk it's happening. Okay, yes.
Adin Ross and Stake had a little fallout recently. I don't know the details, but he found another sugar daddy, RainBet.
By the way, I want to shout out RainBet, by the way, because they did get everybody, and when I mean everybody, all my friends RainBet deals. Bro, Marky, Sweater, Prime, I got everybody. They were like, yes, 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 yes. So I was like, all right, all my boys can happily get deals. Let's go.
He's acting like this is a surprise. I cut this clip up because he explained how it was like 20 different creators got deals. The reason why RainBet is willing to spend so much money is because obviously they're making a boatload of money. It's a very high margin business, these online casinos. And so I just find it so dirty that he leaves Stake, goes to RainBet. All these streamers are getting paid by these online casinos to influence their youth audience into becoming gambling addicts.
Money back. Are we out? One more. Yeah, one more. All right, chat. Next call. Come on, bro. One more now. Double drop. We'll take it. Good little win, guys. Good little win. All right.
I have no idea who watches these streams. I don't participate at all. I don't understand. Like, don't you have something better to do than sit and watch someone gamble? But this is clearly a major business. And on the side here, Trainwrecks TV is one of the large streamers. It shows he has almost 23,000 live viewers when I took this clip. These guys are making a lot of money because somehow they're able to attract a lot of attention. A lot of these people are clearly being influenced by the streamers to go gamble. This is an article I came across that unfortunately highlights an ugly truth. American Psychological Association, written by Emily Son a couple years ago, how gambling affects the brain and who is most vulnerable to addiction. This one paragraph I wanted to highlight. People in their early 20s are the fastest growing group of gamblers. Within the context of this video, people in the early 20s are who are consuming this live streaming gambling content. Nearly 2/3 of adolescents ages 12 to 18 said they had gambled or played gambling-like games in the previous year. Even worse, this was a 2018 Canadian survey. Since then, we've had COVID. 7 years later, we now have the live streaming is way more popular, gambling is way more popular. Crypto meme coins is another form of gambling. I would not be surprised if this is actually on the low end. 2/3 of adolescents aged 12 to 18. So if you want to know a rising problem in this country, gambling addiction getting worse, and guess who's at fault? Major reason is these live streamers. This is Jack Doherty right here, the ultimate brain rot content. I just want to highlight how Stake is infiltrating a lot of the youth. Unfortunately, the people who watch this brain rot content are not developed enough to understand that it is all fake in the sense that it's all plotted out. To his credit, Jack really understands how to make brain rot good marketing content to get eyeballs. Girls with very tight clothing who probably do OnlyFans. He's gambling on Stake. This is a Stake ad for his Instagram. And he gets some girl to take a baseball bat to the TV. Oh my gosh, you have to share it. Can you believe why? Yelling at the girl. This is all just a skit. But this is a Stake deal. Why? Because Stake knows that his audience is young and that's going to influence people to start gambling. All right, time to check out this complaint filed against Drake and Adin Ross. Stake pays Drake, Adin Ross millions of dollars to gamble. We know that, but Drake and Ross do so under deeply fraudulent pretenses, to wit, when they purport to gamble online, they often do not do so with their own money, despite telling the public in Missouri and elsewhere the opposite. This is crucial. If they're able to prove that, I think this is so dirty, and I hope they end up losing this lawsuit. Stake boasts that Drake has been a longtime member of the community, after which a partnership was formed where a new gaming experience will allow users to have a chance to win big alongside Drake. There's no doubt that Drake gets a lot of attention. I would not be surprised if Stake generated hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue by partnering with Drake. Even Drake's official Instagram and X account prominently displays partnership with Stake, which reach over 142 million and 38 million followers respectively. That placement puts it ahead of his other ventures. Drake's role as Stake's unofficial mascot is quietly corrosive. He's glamorizing the platform to millions of impressionable fans, many of whom treat his wild betting habits like gospel. No doubt he has a lot of influence. What makes it even more unsettling is that Stake apparently fronts Drake and Ross house money, so any reported losses are part of a marketing tactic designed to draw attention. I cannot wait to Discovery to see if this is true. The numbers make it very clear that gambling addiction is on the rise. The live streaming, the online gambling, the online casinos, the crypto gambling, all of this is really bad for our next generation. I think this is a really ugly truth, something that we must confront. Thankfully, this is now, I think, the 7th lawsuit I've seen: California, Missouri, and then there's a handful of other complaints filed in different states against Stake. I hope they end up winning. I personally don't like this form of content marketing. I think it is really, really, really negative for everyone in society. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching.